Zip enters the workroom ahead of all the other queens and jumps up on the table, dancing as the other queens come in.
It's a new day in the workroom, and the first one since my return to this competition. I'm so excited, since going home first I've been touring, and I believe that I already had talent, but my caliber of drag has increased too. And I get to see my sisters again. This is going to be great, but I have to get the win tonight if I want them to take me seriously. Only a few episodes remain, it's the only way I have a chance.
Arsène asks Zip why he always jumps on the table. Zip accusingly asks Arsène what he would do if he was as small as Zip. Arsène tilts his head and says he might wear stilts. The queens laugh.
Zip coming back into the competition has really breathed some air back into the room. I mean, before now I was essentially the only queen here who didn't have some kind of heated rivalry. Although, after I exposed her last week, I don't think Celestia is fond of me. Not that I particularly mind. It's not like she has the balls to try to cut up one of my garments, because she knows she'd wake up bald and scarred.
Venti asks the group what challenge they want to have this week. Spinel says she's hoping for a comedy challenge. Zip and Venti agree, with Venti noting that they haven't had one since Snatch Game, 4 challenges ago. Camilla says that she wants there to be a ball, since in the first design challenge she doesn't feel that she showed how strong of a designer she is. Arsène agrees, and says it would probably be nice for himself and Alisa as well. Alisa says that while she's sure she'd succeed in a ball, she actually wants an acting challenge since they haven't had one. Spinel agrees with Alisa.
Cute fun fact. Other than the comeback kid with his toes on the table, me and Camilla have the weakest track records right now. I want an acting challenge, but I don't mind anything as long as I can win it. Being the first girl with 3 wins would cement me as a contender not just in the eyes of the other queens, but in terms of track record.
Arsène looks to Alisa, and asks how she feels about what happened with Camilla on Twitter recently. Camilla stifles a laugh and covers her mouth, causing Alisa to glare at her, which only makes her laugh more.
I'm so sorry, but I can't take Alisa seriously at this point. Watching the violent takedown of her by Emolga, who made sure to take the time to say that she likes everyone in the house except Alisa, and then she gets personally invited to a house with 2 winners in it. Shout out to Emolga, because she had me kicking my feet in the hotel room.
Alisa says she doesn't find it funny, and Venti chimes in, saying it was a little funny. Alisa says that Camilla and Venti should be ashamed of themselves for cracking jokes about her personal issues with Emolga. Camilla says that it's Alisa's fault for acting the way she did. Alisa quickly responds that she's not accepting criticism from the most mediocre bitch in the competition, and Celestia gasps, covering her mouth to hide her smiling.
I don't know what made these girls decide that it was Alisa season, but I'm not just gonna sit and take it, like Venti in the hotel room. Especially not from a brick with fake hubcap titties strapped to her chest with scotch tape. I declare her one of the uglier people of the world, honey, and she better get the hell back to that raggedy, condemned castle in that hideous ghost town she calls home. She won't win this crown, and we all know it, and I would be nicer about it if she didn't try to come for me from the side of her unblended neck. Clock it.
Camilla laughs, and says that this competition is about more than track record, adding that thank God Alisa's was good enough to save her after that messy lip sync last week. Arsène shouts that the girls are fighting. Alisa looks at him, saying that someone has to bring energy to the workroom since his boring ass can't.
I'm starting to understand why Alisa won the reading challenge. I don't care for her at all, but she's tearing into these bitches. If I'm not careful, she'll take my spot as the shadiest bitch here. Let's get ahead of that real quick.
Celestia says that everyone needs to calm down, saying that Alisa is obviously going to be heated, because now that she landed in the bottom she's lost the only thing that lets her feel superior to everyone. Camilla gasps, and before Alisa can respond, the alarm for the room mail rings.
Hello my lovely new top 7, with the inclusion of our comeback queen, Zip. Welcome back. Now, drag has changed a lot since me and Kagamine Rin made our debut in the early 2000s. Drag is all about branding now, and I don't feel like doing it, so I'm delegating it to you and we'll call it a challenge. You'll each write and act your very own advertisement for Cartoon Drag Race Philippines.
A comedy challenge is exactly what I was hoping to get. Listen, I personally think that I was robbed of the win last week for storyline purposes. I see you, producers, and I respect it.
The drama definitely drama, but it's time for my third win, and if this is really my week, Alisa will go home too.
I know it feels odd to say because he was the first boot, but I think Zip is my biggest competition this week. I'm a comedy queen through and through, and I can tell that Zip is too. He's campy, and he has so much energy that I fear he might die like those chihuahuas that get too excited and go into cardiac arrest. I'm really curious about what he'll manage to do.
I want all of that streaming money, so I'm expecting a lot from you all. Good luck my loves, and don't fuck it up.
The queens split apart to work on their advertisements. Celestia invites Zip to work with her, and Zip agrees, but asks if Venti can join them because they want to catch up. Celestia reluctantly agrees, and the three of them begin to work on their scripts together. Venti and Zip are catching up, with Venti loudly talking and cracking jokes as they work. Celestia is visibly annoyed.
Working with Venti is far from my favorite thing to be doing right now. In my congenial era, I'd say he's quite a talker. But I'm not in my congenial era, nor have I ever been, so I'll say he never shuts the hell up, and him being eliminated would be a service to us all.
After only a few minutes of Venti and Zip talking, Celestia calmly looks at Venti and tells him that this is what lost him the challenge in episode 1, and he should focus or he's gonna be in the bottom. Venti side-eyes her and starts to open his mouth to respond, but Zip says she's actually right, and that they should work on their scripts and catch up later. Venti smiles at him, and agrees.
These queens were shady when I was here before, but I wasn't here enough to see the brunt of it. Nobody is gonna do well if they're just fighting all the time. I have to hold the room down so my sisters will succeed. At minimum I need to protect Celestia. She has nobody except me in her corner, and I think she deserves better than that. If I'm the person who keeps her from getting torn into, and from tearing into everyone else, that's great. It helps both of us socially.
Camilla and Arsene are working on their ads together, and discussing the other queens. Camilla asks Arsene about how he feels, given that he and Venti are currently the frontrunners by track record, with Kagame Lan even telling him that he was born to do drag. Arsene says that he came into the competition saying he was going to dominate, but that he was internally really worried that he would fall on his face and embarrass himself, so he's been very proud of his time here. Camilla laughs, and tells him that was never going to happen, adding that she saw him as competition from the moment they all walked in. Arsene says he thought the same about her, and that he thinks her track record doesn't properly show how fierce she's been. Camilla thanks him, saying she's actually been pretty disappointed in herself for her placements. Arsene asks why, and as Camilla starts to talk, she chokes up a bit and pauses.
No, I'm not going to cry in this workroom, I'm above that. Up to now I've been the bad bitch here, and that's who I am. I refuse to be this season's Peppa Pig, it's not gonna happen. It's just been difficult. I had a bit of a rocky start, and I'm picking up steam now, but I'm still at the bottom of the rankings. I have a lot riding on this, I can't falter, at least not yet.
Camilla tears up a bit, but wipes her eyes, and continues her sentence, saying that she feels embarrassed being the weakest in the competition right now because she knows she can do better than that. Arsene replies that track record isn't everything, and that everyone here still has a chance of winning. He then pauses, before adding except for Celestia. Camilla laughs, and says that it's not just about winning. She explains that she auditioned for the show for her drag sister, Elise, because Elise had auditioned twice and been rejected both times, which discouraged her, making her consider quitting drag. She continues on, explaining that she made Elise promise that if Camilla could get onto the show and open the door for her, she would cheer up and keep trying. Arsene says that Camilla made it and that he's sure that she's making Elise and her drag family proud, and Camilla thanks him. The two hug.
I've never seen this side of Camilla before. Everyone here has opened up a bit as the competition went on, except for Camilla. She's always held fast, and not really cracked. It's clear that her family matters a lot to her, and she's putting a lot of weight on that. I hope that she knows she showed up and showed out up to now, and that she's making her sister, and all of Nor, proud.
Spinel and Alisa are at the same workstation, making progress on their advertisements. Spinel asks Alisa how she's feeling, since she was in the bottom for the first time last week. Alisa asks why Spinel is so curious, and Spinel says she isn't being shady, she just wants to know what Alisa is thinking. Alisa glares at her, and asks Spinel if she actually thinks she's fooling anybody with her act lately. Spinel tilts her head and asks what Alisa means. Alisa rolls her eyes and says that everyone still remembers the first few episodes, and they can tell that Spinel isn't who she's been acting like. Spinel is taken aback. Spinel argues that she isn't trying to fool anyone, she's just being a better person than she was, and asks why Alisa is bringing this up so suddenly. Alisa says that she's sick of being targeted lately, and of everyone saying she should have gone home last week, while people like Spinel get to coast on mediocrity and don't hear word one about it.
Does this girl think we're stupid? She spent like 4 episodes being a complete menace and driving us all up the wall, a delusional mess, causing problems and flopping challenges. Now she's acting nice and we're all meant to pretend like it's real? She has all those issues with Celestia, but frankly they're one and the same. Mean girls with no talent.
What does Alisa even mean? I acted some type of way at the start, but I apologized and moved on. I actually improved as a person, and also as a competitor. Alisa has done nothing but trend down on both fronts. She started off as a sweetheart mother figure and a frontrunner, now she's a monster bitch who should have been eliminated last week. I was being nice to her, and she came for me out of nowhere. Fuck off with that.
Spinel gets upset, and says she isn't coasting, she's working her ass off and Alisa has no right to say that to her. Alisa starts to argue back, but Spinel says no, standing up and asking Alisa what kind of nerve she has to say that Spinel is coasting and not trying, when every week she's fought hard for her place in this competition, while Alisa got to just prance about, while success fell into her lap. Alisa again opens her mouth, but Spinel shouts that she is not done speaking yet, and tells Alisa that she looked up to her for years before getting on this show, but has since realized that Alisa is a jealous, bitter, fake bitch. Spinel then tells her to never accuse her of not trying again, because Alisa couldn't even try hard enough to win the lip sync against Sato, and then adds that she couldn't even win the lip sync against her, which is why Spinel has 2 wins and Alisa has 1. She then grabs her notebook and starts to storm off, looking back at Alisa and adding that this is why you shouldn't meet your idols.
Is she right? I mean, I have been a little on edge lately, but it isn't my fault. All of this is so annoying. I don't have time to deal with it right now. My material for the challenge is coming along really well, I'm really proud of it, and I think it could secure me another win. After that, I think it's up to me to prove that she's wrong.
Hello my loves, and welcome to Cartoon Drag Race Philippines. I'm one of your beloved hosts, Kagamane Len. Please welcome your beautiful judging panel this week. The other half of our sickening judging duo, it's Kagamane Rin. The winners of Cartoon Drag Race Toontown Season 1 and Season 2 respectively, the house mothers of the fierce Alolan acolytes, they are Lurantis and Primarina. Thank you both so much for joining us.
Oh shit, I mean, for one thing, they're both icons, so it's wild to see them in general. But also, they're the new drag mothers of Emolga. I wonder how Alisa feels about this.
In tonight's Maxi-challenge, the queens were tasked with writing and performing a comedy advertisement for Cartoon Drag Race Philippines. And tonight on the runway, category is Cowgirl. Without further ado, let's begin.
Zip, Camilla, Spinel, Venti, Arsene, and Celestia Ludenberg slayed the challenge.
Oh my god, I'm so excited. My first challenge since returning and I did so well. The judges look like they couldn't breathe from laughter. This is the best day of my life, I'm so proud.
Another one, thank you. All of us slayed this week, the competition is really getting down to the wire. But I really think this is my win, and I can't wait to hear them say it. It's been too long.
They loved my ad, especially Kagamine Len. Though, him liking it more than the others might have been because I played him in the ad, and he liked how hot he was. Regardless, he loved it, and so did the other judges. I think I have a real shot at the win this week, but honestly we all do. This challenge was a total masterclass.
Alisa was great in the challenge.
I do think I was the best this week, and my runway is gonna confirm that. I was like, the only girl here who actually tried to sell the damn product. It's an advert challenge, and Spinel was doing crazy kooky shit. Arsene basically made a comedy porno. did we hear the same challenge description? They did well, we were all funny, but where was the ad in their ads? The only other queen I think did as well as me is Venti.
Spinel, Alisa, Venti, Zip, Camilla, and Arsene slayed the runway.
I don't think anyone expected me to bring it like this on the runway, but it isn't the first or the last time it'll happen. I perfectly mixed camp and couture. Nikolai can eat his fucking heart out. Actually, I'm sure he's living for me.
I'm head to toe in pink leather. I feel stunning. Everyone take notes. This is how you serve masculinity with a feminine prompt. Every time I walk the runway, I like to think of it as flirting with the judges a bit. Give them a wink, show some leg, whatever it may be. Presentation matters just as much as the look does, and that's what puts me above the others.
Celestia Ludenberg was great on the runway.
After my glittery ensemble last week, we're back to classic Celestia Ludenberg, and the judges are eating it up as they should be. I look amazing, and I'm proud of that. Clock the quality, I made this bitch myself.
My queens, I have made some decisions. This week, none of you are safe. Now, it's time for critiques. Celestia Ludenberg, please step forward.
Celestia, you were so funny this week. In every comedy challenge barring Snatch Game, you've blown us away, which isn't something that you'd expect from looking at your drag. You're so glamorous, but you aren't afraid to let go when it matters, and that's not always easy.
After winning last week's challenge, you had a lot to hold up to this week, and you accomplished that. Amazing job, seriously. And we complimented you for switching up your style last week, but sometimes you just need to do what you do best, and the classic Celestia aesthetic already subverts the prompt to begin with. I'm thrilled with your performance tonight.
You brought something this week that nobody else did. There was more of an edge in your ad and you weren't afraid to be a bit dirty. It definitely takes skill to do what you've done. It's very clear that this is where you belong. Great job.
Spinel, please step forward.
Wow, just wow. Spinel, I think this is your best showing ever on this show, with no hyperbole at all. I know a lot of people wrote you off, but you're coming in from behind with your performances as of recent. You were hilarious. Everything you did was a wink at the camera in a way that I really am obsessed with.
Tonight on the runway, this is everything. I'm a lover of camp, it's my style of drag, and I know a lot about it. This right here is how you execute camp while still bringing in the elements of high fashion that we love to see on the runway. And using your arm as a lasso is just so hilarious and something only you would think of, granted only you can do it to begin with. The Spinel I'm seeing on stage now is nothing like the Spinel I saw at the start of the season. I don't know what switch you had to flip, but you should be so proud of yourself.
You were amazing in the ad, and on the runway. This is exactly how you should make a runway prompt your own. A lot of comedy queens like to whine that doing poorly on the runway doesn't matter for them because they aren't runway girls. You don't make that excuse, you take the runway category and you make it your own, and you're still as hilarious as ever. Great showing this week.
Camilla, please step forward.
I hate to repeat myself, because I've said this to you before, Camilla. But you're just perfection every time I see you. Like, can we all just take a second to admire her? If you come out here looking like this again, making every bitch in here, including me, wish they were you, I'm gonna key your fucking car. And you're giving me those shoes, or I'll send you home.
I can tell that you channeled the same hilarious, campy spirit inside you that you channeled in the Rusical for this challenge, and I ate up every bit of it. Tonight on the runway you were my personal favorite. Never stop doing what you're doing, this is art, and you owe it to all of us to give us the experience that only you can.
I'm very impressed with what you showed tonight, but rather than just say that since the others already have, I am going to say that I want to see you push your boundaries a little more. Like Kagamine Rin said, you do everything at such a high level, and I know you're adaptable. But I want to see you do something you've never done before, because I know you're strong enough to turn it out anyway. I don't mean to say you aren't versatile, because you have shown us many different sides of your drag. But you haven't let loose like some of the others have, and I'm curious about what would happen if you did.
Arsene, please step forward.
Everyone in this competition is so fucked. I mean really, what is it you don't do successfully? Last week we criticized you for repeating yourself, and this week you did something brand new and it was still as amazing as always. I'm starting to think there's literally nothing you aren't capable of. Someone needs to cut up your wigs or something to give anyone else a chance, because the way things are going, it gets clearer every week that you're the one to watch.
My face is red each time you walk the stage, I can't take it. And I won't lie about my bias for the ad, you made sure to suck up to the referee by making me the hot one, and I'm not gonna pretend it didn't work. I was very impressed by your showing this week, start to finish. Amazing job.
When I saw you at first, I didn't expect you to be as impressive as you were in this challenge. You don't seem like the kind of girl that can be funny and sell a comedy bit like that. You subverted my expectations, and that actually made you my favorite this week overall. Great show.
Zip, please step forward.
You absolutely brought it this week. In my opinion, your ad was the best of the night. I think this is the first time we've seen you in your element. You went home first and the return challenge was a runway based on someone else. You finally got to be uniquely you, and I absolutely loved seeing it. I hope that you stay here as long as possible so I can see even more.
Being the comeback queen, you're under a magnifying lens after skipping so much of the competition. That can be a struggle if you mess up because it just takes one mistake, but when you shine like this it just makes it even better. You've earned your place here, this proves it. Amazing job, I mean it.
I know the feeling of struggling at the beginning of the season, and pulling through at the end. I believe in your potential the most of anyone, and I think you can win. I'm rooting for you, Zip, especially after this performance. Keep at it.
Alisa, please step forward.
You were unfortunately the worst in the challenge this week. But come the fuck on. You were also amazing, everyone was, so it almost feels unfair saying you were the worst. And I'm especially impressed, because unlike someone like Spinel who is so dedicated as a comedy queen, comedy isn't what you do. So the fact that here and in the stand-up challenge you won, you've done so great, it's wild.
I find it fascinating that someone is capable of being so beautiful and still being funny. Scratch that, I find it offensive. It feels so effortless the way you sail through challenges. You've had weak points, sure, but your worst days have been stronger than some queens' best days.
In the challenge tonight, your ad stuck out to me because it was really the one that would most convince me to watch the show. I didn't laugh quite as much as with the other ads, but it felt like something you would see on TV that would make you drop the extra money for a WOW Plus subscription, and there's something of note there.
Venti, please step forward.
You slayed the challenge this week, and by now that's what we expect from you. I'm honestly more worried than anything, because with a streak like this, it can be easy for you to think that you're invincible. Don't fly too close to the sun. I want you to bring it like this as consistently as you have, all the way to the top.
This runway, there's a similar situation to Ursen, where I just want to take you home. Please don't sue me for saying that, since I'm technically your employer right now, but I'm sure you know what I mean. A lot of queens that have great bodies don't bother with shaping or enhancing because they don't think they have to, so I really appreciate that you always put that effort in to make it perfect. Your looks show a lot of skin, but anywhere that isn't showing, you've made sure to pad and cinch until it's just right. If this competition was purely based on the runway, you'd be winning in a landslide.
The best of the night to me, right next to Spinel. What Primarina said about Alisa, to me, applies to you as well. Except you were also completely hilarious. It's a little embarrassing how hard I was laughing at your ad, and if I saw that playing before a video or whatever it may be, I'd watch the hell out of the show. And this runway is pure concept, it's stunning. I've been told you made essentially everything you brought tonight, and yet you look the best out of anyone. To quote myself, these queens have no idea what's in store for them.
Alright my queens, now that we've let you know our thoughts, it's time to let you know your placements this week. But first, I have a big announcement to make.
Oh my god, is it more voting? It better not be more voting. You're the judges, for fuck's sake. Do the judging yourself.
Based on your performances, I've decided that nobody will be going home tonight. You are all the tops of the week. But there will only be one winner.
Thank God, I've been holding my breath this whole time. I didn't want to get caught in the revolving door. I'm here for another week no matter what. Now all I need is for Kagame Len to say that I'm the winner of this week's challenge.
Arsene and Camilla, amazing job this week, you're both safe.
I was really hoping I would take it this week, but I'm not upset. I did the best I could, and I did amazing. I'll be happy for whoever wins, everyone here deserves it. Well, except for Celestia.
Alisa and Celestia Ludenberg, you are also safe. Amazing job, you may leave the stage. That leaves Venti, Spinel, and Zip.
I'm so close. This is my win, I can feel it. It'll be a lip sync of course, but we all know that I can handle that with ease. I'm so proud of myself. After last week I was worried I wouldn't get what I know I deserve, but now I can tell
Venti, you're safe. You may leave the stage. That means that Spinel and Zip, you're the top 2 of the week. But there will only be one winner.
The time has come for you to lip sync for the win. Good luck, and don't it up.
This is the second time that I've been in a position where I need to lip sync for the win. I'm excited to share this moment with Zip. I'm happy that he's here with me. We both have something to prove. That being said, I won last time, and I'll win this time too. I've worked hard to get where I am. I'm gonna show that.
I'm in the top 2. Win or lose, I've accomplished what I was hoping for today. I made my mark in this competition and I'm gonna work hard to keep doing that. But I do think I'll win. This song is campy, it's funny, it's about emoting and playing a character. This is what I do best.
Spinel is embodying the song. Spinel and Zip had a great lip sync.
My queens, I have made my decision. Spinel, you're a winner, baby. Congratulations to you both. You may both leave the stage.
This is Untucked.
The queens enter Untucked, with Spinel coming in first, doing a triple handspring through the doorway while cheering that she won the challenge.
Boom. 3 fucking challenge wins. 3. Fuck Chun-Li, fuck Nikolai, fuck Ione, and fuck Alisa most of all. None of them expected me to do this, but I good and goddamn did it. Actually, take Nikolai off that list. I love him to death now, so he gets a pass. But now he'll have to admit I'm the real fashion clown, haha. I'll see you soon, sister, but I'll have a crown on my head.
Venti laughs and says that Spinel shouldn't get too excited, because now she's public enemy number 1 among the queens. Arsène jokes that she'll be the next person to find one of her runways mysteriously missing, and Camilla laughs. Celestia cracks a smile, rolling her eyes.
Oh please, 2 good runways does not a fashion queen make. I don't want any of those crunchy ass garments. Next.
Celestia congratulates Zip for being in the top 2, saying that she's proud of him for showing out this week. Zip thanks her, saying that everyone did great, so he's very happy that he was able to lip sync for the win. Alisa asks if she's going to congratulate Spinel for the win, and Celestia doesn't respond. Spinel smiles, rolling her eyes.
Maybe an hour ago that would have bothered me. But Celestia can be bitter if she wants to be. She isn't gonna shake this mood. She didn't win this week, I did. I've got at least 24 hours of happiness in me.
Camilla tells Spinel congratulations for winning this week's challenge, and Venti says the same, adding that if it wasn't him he's happy it was her, as opposed to someone like Alisa. Alisa turns and asks what that's supposed to mean, and Venti says that he meant exactly what he said, and doesn't think Alisa would have deserved the win. Alisa fires back that according to the judges, Venti didn't deserve it either, and the queens gasp. Just as Venti is about to respond, the queens hear singing coming from the hallway, and turn to see that Primarina and Larantis have entered Untucked.
Oh, hell yes. I'm not even mad that we don't get to hear Venti's reaction to Elisa's messiness, because now we get to see Emolga's adoptive drag mothers. Producers, I commend you for this one. You did this just for me. You know I'm a messy bitch that lives for drama.
Larantis congratulates all the queens for doing so well this week, especially Spinel and Zip as the top 2. They all thank her, except for Alisa who just scoffs. Primarina side-eyes her, and gives a small smile to her, before turning to the rest of the group and asking how they're feeling so far about the competition, and what's been going on in the workroom. Camilla stifles a laugh, and Venti says that it's been very tense to say the least. Arsène adds that Zip has been bringing energy to the room, much like Emolga did at the beginning. Elisa's eye twitches, Larantis' eyebrow raises, and she asks why the queens feel as though there's tension in the workroom. She then questions if anyone's been a point of contention for the other queens. Spinel says that a certain queen, who she won't name out of respect, has been implying that queens are below her, despite the fact that she's been the worst of the week twice in a row. Before anyone else can say anything, Arsène casually says Alisa, and Camilla nearly doubles over trying not to laugh.
I can't hold my laughter back for much longer. If Alisa has one more face crack, the dam is gonna burst. and it's gonna be disrespectful. I'm getting my life from this. I genuinely hope it never stops.
Primarina glances at Alisa, who is at this point gritting her teeth, and says that every professional queen worth her coin knows to be respectful to her competitors. Laurantis adds that even if you aren't Miss Congeniality, you need to have some sense of respect, and that if you don't have that, you probably won't take the crown home. Alisa finally snaps, saying that the two of them have no room to talk, because they're two of the least deserving winners in the history of cartoon drag race. Arsene asks if Alisa will just shut up already, because they're all sick of her blowing up every week like clockwork.
She's so repetitive and predictable, and frankly, I'm getting fucking bored. The first time it's shocking. The second time it's interesting. The 10th time it's fucking annoying, and she needs to go home. It's not funny anymore, it's disrespectful and I'm over it.
Alisa says she isn't just going to pretend like two of the least talented winners up to now will get to talk down to her like that, standing up from her seat. Primarina stands up as well, and says she isn't going to take disrespect from Alisa, and that all the legacy and star power in the world means nothing if you're unable to act like a star. She then goes on to say that she may be an electric-type specialist, but she's been short-circuiting in front of her all day long. Camilla finally bursts into laughter, and Laurantis joins her, causing Alisa to turn bright red. Alisa turns to them, and shouts, asking what they're laughing at. Laurantis says that she's laughing at Alisa getting gathered by the same bitch that adopted the daughter Alisa couldn't manage to keep around, and continues laughing with Camilla. Alisa screams at them both to stop laughing, arguing back to Primarina, before eventually screaming at the top of her lungs and storming out of Untucked. After she leaves, Laurantis and Camilla slowly calm back down, and Primarina and Laurantis tell the queens that it's time for them to leave, wishing them luck. As they leave, the queens hear Emolga's voice in the hallway with them, apologizing for how Alisa acted.